All right, Tyler. So take me back with your career, with your journey to Notre Dame. When did you first become a big time recruit? And how?
I think it was after my freshman year is when I started getting the most offers. I pretty much got all my offers after my freshman year in the spring, and I think it was I played a little bit as a freshman. Played quarterback. I didn't start every game. There's a senior quarterback who I could kind of split time with, and then
Hmm.
I guess I had some pretty good film, and then I threw for some coaches at camps and things, and someone would come by my school, and that's when some things started taking off.
So how does lacrosse factor into all of that?
Yeah, so lacrosse was like the original plan. I was gonna play lacrosse in college. That was sort of the plan. And football, I didn't know if I was gonna get offers or not. And so I was just gonna play lacrosse. And then football, I really liked football, probably more than lacrosse. So the plan was always like if I got offers for football, like real offers of schools I actually wanted to go to, then I'd play football. So
Yeah, yeah. So Southern California and Notre Dame, those two places are pretty far apart. So how do you get from Southern California and escape USC and UCLA? I'm sure all the different schools that all your friends and family maybe were even rooting for. How do you get to Notre Dame?
I think it came down to a couple of things, my recruiting process. It was obviously I wanted to play high level football, compete for a national championship, which obviously you can do here at Notre Dame. And the other two things were school. I wanted to go to a place with great academics, and I wanted to go to a place with great people. And, I don't think there's a school in the country that can compete with Notre Dame on those three levels. And it became a pretty easy decision.
Did you think that it would all happen this fast in terms of playing like this your freshman year?
I didn't really have any expectations going into this year, to be honest with you. I just came in hoping to learn and get better and learn from the people around me and learn from the coaches. And, from that perspective, things have definitely gone as I expected because I did learn. I did expect to, learn and do those type of things and get better. So, yeah.
What do you feel like you've learned from week one to today?
Um, Throughout the season, I think I've learned that at the end of the day, you're just playing football, and there's fans and there's all these things, but at the end of the day, it's football, and so I think that's the biggest thing is just um, you know living in the moment, and I do enjoy playing in front of all these people, but being at Notre Dame, but at the end of the day, you're just focused on the task at hand and take it one play at a time.
How about just the speed difference from high school football to playing in Notre Dame Stadium under the bright lights and some of the things you've been able to do?
Yeah, there's definitely a difference in speed. I think I sort of got used to it in fall camp. Probably was probably
Yeah.
the time things started clicking. Spring ball I was here early, and spring ball. When you first get here, it's like, oh my gosh, these guys are fast, and it's a lot bigger, stronger, faster. And it took some getting used to, but definitely as the season's gone on, and the longer I've been here, and the more reps I've gotten in practice, the slower things have gotten.
It's kind of weird when you go across the country at this brand new place and you have to make all kinds of new friends again. It's like you don't know anybody. You don't have this like built-in roots of people that you know everywhere around you. So who was the first friend that you feel like you made when you got to Notre Dame?
Probably Lorenzo Styles because he was my roommate when I first got here. And so being in COVID, when I first got here, there wasn't a lot of social activity, things to do. And we were obviously very busy with winter workouts and throwing and doing all these things to try and get, acclimated. So I spent pretty much a lot of my time with him and living with him. And that's been great.
Are you guys still rooming together right now?
Yeah, we do.
What's it been like for you watching his career start to take off in his freshman year as well?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy for him and really excited. I mean, I think the sky's the limit for a guy like him. He's freakishly athletic, super fast, and works extremely hard. I think he's one of the hardest workers I've been around, and the guy loves football. So I think the sky's the limit for him, and I can't wait to see, for the rest of the season and for the rest of his career.
How about just for your game in particular? As this season has gone on, do you feel like every week there's a little bit more that you're comfortable with? Like, is there another player or two in the offense that you feel like you're comfortable with, or do you feel like right now you could go operate the whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, I know the whole playbook at this point, but every single day, it's a learning process. Every single day, you got to try to get 1% better, and if it's learning a detail in a certain play to 1% better, that's what I try to do every day. Is try to keep developing and keep learning, because obviously there's development and learning that needs to happen. For me and for everyone. And so every single day, try to get 1% better. And whether it's learning a play or focusing on my footwork, accuracy, anything, it's just trying to get better every day.
Who was the coach that you connected with through the recruiting process?
It was Coach Reese.
Oh, so it's been Coach Reese the entire time.
Yeah, mostly Coach Reese, because he was a quarterback coach when he first recruited me. And then right before I got here, he got promoted to OC.
What did you connect with early on about Coach Reese?
Yeah, Coach Reese, he's obviously a great person, and I wanted to play for someone who's a good person, obviously, because, you spend a lot of time with them. And I think another thing that definitely benefited was he played at Notre Dame, so he understands what it's like to actually play quarterback and operate the whole thing. And he knows it's like on and off the field. So, if you're dealing with something off the field, he knows what it's like, and things like that. So, that he's been extremely helpful, and it's been great to have him in my corner.
He's been rocking that beanie lately. What do you think of that little beanie he's been rocking up there in the booth?
It's funny. There's a TV playing of the game, and he's wearing the beanie, shaking people's hands. Yeah, it's a good look. It's a good look for him. I don't think he's taking it off, but you can't mix it up now. It's too late.
Yeah, it is a good look for him. It's like the Tommy I've known in private sort of becoming the public Tommy, and he's been balling out with that. So it seems to be working. How about just with Jack Coan? What have you sort of learned, or what kind of questions are you able to ask Jack Coan? Not like he's been in this offense forever, but he has been around college football for a pretty darn long time.
Yeah, Jack's awesome. He's great in the room, and I spent a bunch of time with him. He's one of my best friends here, and Jack, just like the amount of knowledge he has about football on and off the field, and just playing quarterback. There's more to playing quarterback than just actually doing it. So just on that level, he's been extremely helpful. I can ask him a question on, say, a coverage or a certain read on a play, and he'll answer it, and it'll be really helpful. And he knows from my perspective instead of like a coach's perspective, what you're seeing and things like that. And then, off the field, like today, it was my first time doing media at Notre Dame, and I asked him, like, oh, hey, like, what do I do? Like, so, he's helpful because he's done it and he's been there. So, everything he covered, I asked him a bunch of questions, and, he's been great.
So how'd your first media day go? Do you have to like walk up to the podium, or what was actually the day like for you?
Yeah, it was fine. I just did it after practice, went up, answered some questions. Wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. So
how many are actually out there when you're standing at the podium? How many people show up?
A couple. I don't know, like 5 or 10.
Yeah. It gets a little bigger. Yeah. It gets a little bigger as the years go on. As a big game, maybe you show up, there'll be about 20 or so. Pete Sampson and the boys, they're good people out there, man. So how about when you talk to your friends from back here in Southern California, what are they saying about what you're accomplishing out there in Indiana?
Yeah, they mostly just make fun of me, give me crap, tell me I'm not any good. That's what friends are for. Obviously, all jokes aside, they've been my buddies have been really, supportive of me and really helpful. I still talk to them a lot. So, they're definitely happy for me. A lot of my buddies play sports in college too, so they get it. Some of my best friends, most of them play lacrosse actually. So some of them play water polo, things like that. So, they understand what it's like to be a freshman and go through all that stuff. So we can bond through things like that. And I think some of my buddies came up for the USC game too. So I got to hang out with them after the game, and it was great.
Yeah. In what ways do you think lacrosse made you a better football player?
I think in a lot of ways, actually, because I think for one, just the competition aspect, obviously playing more sports helps you become a better competitor. And I think just a better athlete overall. I think a lot of the same cuts and, things I would do on the field are probably from lacrosse.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing a lot of quick movement, a lot of quick cutting and things like that. And obviously running, you run a lot. I played midi, so it's a lot of back and forth running. And then I think just like vision wise, it's helpful, like sort of as a quarterback, because lacrosse, you're passing the ball so much, trying to find passing lanes, things like that, similar to basketball. And so I think it's been really helpful.
How about from a class standpoint? Just take me for you, just get rid of football for a second. You as a student, like Notre Dame could be hard, man. I remember my first year up there, I was like, this is not a joke anymore. You have to study, you have to actually work. every single night if you're going to go do anything on any of these tests. What's been your first experience with Notre Dame classes?
Yeah, Notre Dame class. I mean, I have great professors and really good people. I'm in the business school too, so it's definitely more challenging than high school. But luckily, I went to a really good high school that prepared me well for college, and I feel like I understand how to manage my time and get work done. And I think that's something that obviously has come through the more time I've spent here. In the fall, you obviously have less time with season, and you're here a lot later in meetings and watching film and things with practice. So, I've just learned to, get work done when I have time and try to bang things out in between practice or meetings or things like that to stay ahead of and stay on top of things so I don't get in trouble.
When your 15, 20-year NFL career, whatever it may be, wraps up, what do you want to do outside of football? Like what sounds like a great career to you?
Yeah, I mean, if in a purely hypothetical world, if I played in the league and had enough money, I would retire, teach history in high school, and be a high school football coach. But if I needed to go make money and do something, I'd probably just probably work in finance or figure something out. I don't know. My dad's in private equity, so I'd probably, follow in his footsteps. Maybe I don't know.
Wow. So it's a hard question. So why teach history though? Like what is it about history that you love?
I don't know. I just really love history. It's one of the things in school I've always had a passion for, and I've always been interested in those classes. And I think you can learn a lot from history, and I think you learn to not make the same mistakes people did. And I think it's fun being able to look at kind of like watching film, honestly, in football, because you're basically overlooking everything that happened and the strategy and things people did, and you're like, oh, you can learn from that, or oh, that worked well, I'll do that again.
I'm a huge history nerd myself. So what kind of history are we talking? Is this like American history, world history, like president history?
I like American history.
American.
Not a big fan of European history.
Okay. You're an American history guy. Did you think about majoring in history at Notre Dame or no?
Yeah, I thought about it. But at the end of the day, I also pretty into the business and I like math. So, the business school is just sort of where I ended up.
All right. So last question for you. Is there anything, do you ever have time to do it? Like go bowling, go golfing? Is there anything you could do to be an 18-year-old kid and just enjoy 15 minutes?
Yeah. I like playing poker. So I play poker sometimes at night online. And, when we're not in season, I love golfing. So, in the summer we get time and it's nice out. I golf and, when I'm home after the season, I'll probably golf and go to the beach, things like that. So
I love it, man. The beach is right there. I'm in Marina Del Rey in your homeland. The golf course is right there. So it's great getting to hang out with you, man. Everybody's so proud of you. And we used to do poker night every Thursday night. So it'd be great if you could pick up that tradition and keep it alive. Yeah. All right, Tyler. Good getting to hang out with you, man. Have a great night.
Appreciate it. You too.